I was reading the news.
News.
Yeah.
Okay.
Unbiased, truthful news.
Yeah.
Canada has almost wiped out syphilis.
Yes.
However,
Back on the saddle.
However, back on the saddle.
Sure.
However,
Not with you know what I mean.
now rates are skyrocketing as more people are becoming infected with syphilis. Nearly 14,000 cases of infected syphilis across Canada in 2022.
Okay. I'm going to ask a personal question.
Sure, go ahead.
Have you ever had an STD?
I have never had an STD.
Sure. Totally have.
Really?
Yeah.
Did they do the umbrella thing?
The umbrella thing?
Yeah.
No, mine was like, give me the pills, doc. Let's fix it. Like that was it. Done. It was like I was like 22 at the time.
Because there was
I hooked up with a burner.
I hooked up with a burner. There's the where they do the test where they use the little, like, the little cocktail umbrellas.
Okay.
And that's what they use to go inside.
Oh,
and then
yeah.
they open it and then they pull it out.
Okay, I had just a long swab in my junk.
Also fun.
No, not fun at all.
Would you rather have syphilis or watch The Big Bang Theory?
Wait, is syphilis? Never mind. Big Bang Theory. Definitely not. I'm not watching that.
Syphilis it is.
Welcome to Radical Apathy, the podcast where two half-wits set out to solve all the world's problems with pop culture references and a lackadaisical attitude. Why not? It's worked so far.
Welcome to the Radical Apathy Podcast, brought to you by Kremlin Hair Cream, the silkiest, smoothest, most Soviet hair you've ever had.
Kremlin Brill Creme.
Brill
Feel
Creme?
the Bolshevik inside of you. My name's Tanner.
My name's Corbyn.
Hi, Corbyn.
Hello, how are you? I haven't talked to you in a while.
It's been a while. I'm guessing because you went to Vegas again.
Yeah, I did. Let me tell you what pissed me off this week.
Okay. Should we
No,
talk?
no,
Okay.
we're talking about this first.
Go ahead. You can still talk about
Okay,
it.
you know those... we got some guests. We'll introduce them in a sec. You know those tortilla chips, the Scoops tortilla chips?
Scoops, yeah. Big fan of Scoops.
Okay, so I end up always buying these fucking things.
Yeah.
And you inevitably open the bag,
Yeah.
and half of the scoops are flat.
Broken
Like
scoops.
they're not. No,
Yeah.
they're not even broken. They're flat. They're not scoops at all. They're flat chips.
Are you sure you just didn't buy Doritos again?
No. I bought the scoops. Trust me. I said scoops. All the other bunch of scoops.
Yes.
And then half the bag completely flat. Like it's like half the manufacturing of this company.
Okay.
Is completely wrong.
So they didn't scoop the chip.
No, well, they not like they wanted it to.
Right.
I don't know. It made me mad.
Yeah. I mean, okay. No, if it was half the bag, I can see that. I can see why you'd be upset.
Like half the bag.
But are you sure it just wasn't broken scoops?
No, they weren't broken.
Okay, because sometimes they come broken.
Yeah, no, I can tell a broken scoop.
Okay, well,
Completely flat.
Okay.
Flat scoops, or just regular chips, if you will.
yeah, just Dorito chips.
Piss me off.
Yeah, that does well.
I'm really excited for today's podcast.
I'm really excited. We have guests here today with us.
Who are they?
Well, they are the owners and operators of the Average Superior podcast.
What's that, Tanner?
Well, I'm glad you asked. It's a podcast, just like this one. If you, I don't know, we just let our guests. Hi, guests.
Hi.
Hi, guests. Hi.
Hello.
Hi, guests. Do you want to introduce yourselves?
My name's John.
My name is CJ.
Hi, John and CJ. You are the owners and operators of the Average Superior podcast. Is that correct?
Yeah.
2 out of 3.
Elevator pitch, go. What is it?
We talk about random things, but in general, the name came from us wanting to. We like to do a lot of things, and in general, we're fairly average at everything.
Yeah.
But I think our goal is to try to be better at most things.
Yeah.
I don't know if we're getting there. So the idea, though, was to get from average to superior at some point in our lives. Probably not going to happen.
The average human's guide to growth, nobility, and finding your purpose. ... Sometimes.
Boom.
...
Is that right?
Sometimes.
I like it.
I like that you throw nobility in there. Kind of like it gives you a kind of a like, oh, we're noble.
So noble.
We're so noble.
I like it. It's a good metaphor.
Yeah, it's fun.
You guys have just completed your 40th episode. Congratulations.
We
That's
just recorded
awesome.
our 41st episode.
Oh, we're at 41 already? Sorry, 40
Wow.
published.
Holy shit.
Was that the one that we did with you?
It was.
Oh, hey, yeah. We did one with you guys on your show. It was a lot of fun. Thank you for having us, and thank you for coming on our show.
We're honored to be here.
And what I really liked this is that we, as far as I'm aware, and I don't know everything, but I think this is the first time in any type of form of entertainment that there has been some form of crossover.
Oh yeah.
Between two mediums
Ever.
So like this is like I would coin the phrase multiverse is what I would do to be to be the first person to coin that ever.
I like that.
To say this is the first podcast multiverse where two podcasts have come together.
That's going to take off.
I think it's going to be big. So I wanted to say thank you. Now that you're here, I wanted to say thank you. Now be quiet. So homework.
Can I just ask a question?
Yeah. Yes, you can't talk. I'm just.
We are allowed to talk?
No,
Yes,
I
sure.
just have a question. Like, I feel like I've listened to a lot of your podcasts because I like it. It's fun.
Yeah.
But I do feel like your name, Radical Apathy, really, it purely came because that's how you are towards your guests for the first like 20, 30 minutes of your podcast.
And you, sorry, are you Curtis or which one are you?
I just feel, I'm just saying, the apathy towards your guests
Listen,
for the
Jeff.
first 30
Listen, Jeff. Calm down.
I'm just saying, it fits the name.
We have a format that we follow that our guests demand that we follow.
Demand.
The guests or your audience?
Our audience.
Okay.
Sorry. All of our guests are our audience as well. So I get the two mixed up. But we do this for the audience. You're
As do we
here.
all.
Yeah, you're my arm candy.
Okay.
And you're here to see it through.
Okay, I'm going to start with a couple things.
Okay, so we're not doing homework then.
No, we're not doing homework yet.
Okay, go ahead.
We're doing random banter first.
Okay, go ahead.
Listen, now you guys might know this. I didn't know this. I know a cremator.
Is that what they're called?
I don't know. Anyway. Okay.
Okay,
So
sure.
when you cremate somebody
Yeah.
or something like a dog or whatever, okay, they put them in the oven and they cook them, right?
Sure, yeah.
And this just blew my mind. I seriously didn't know this. Okay, and so you cook the skin and the hair and the bones are left over.
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't know that. I thought the bones turned to dust as
No,
well.
bones don't go away.
Okay, they grind the bones in a grinder.
Yeah.
And then they blend them in a blender. I'm
Yeah.
not fucking around.
No, I'm with you. Yeah.
And then that's what you get back as the ashes, is the ground up bones. Did you know that?
I did.
How'd you know that?
Because I did it with my grandfather.
You ground the bones?
Yeah, he was he was eccentric and he had a weird will.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You knew that. Did you guys know that?
No, I did not.
No, that's terrible.
Yeah, bones,
Isn't that
bones
nuts?
don't burn. They just kind of fossilize.
You guys aren't as surprised as I was. Like, I was like, oh my God, that's insanity.
Yeah.
So I have a couple questions. Like,
Go.
you use your hand motion like someone's like actually like turning a grinder.
Yeah, there's a grinder.
Okay, so
and
it's
then
a hand grinder.
I'm sure
manual.
that each grinding company is different, but there's a grinder, and then they throw it in. I'm not fucking with you. A
believe
blender
you,
at the
yeah.
end, and then they give it to you a pouch about the size of your fist.
Okay.
That's insanity to me.
Yeah. Yeah. It's not very big. It's just a little plastic thing put in a black
little pouch like this big.
Yeah. Yeah. Ugh. Yeah. That's where you're gonna end up.
I think I speak for everyone. Yeah.
Do you want to be cremated?
Not now. I don't want to be ground up into things.
Before that, would that have been?
I
your
was
choice?
all in on cremation, and then I heard about the bones being grounded, and I'm like, I'm out.
That's what's pulling you off.
I told my wife, and she's like, yeah, we're not doing that anymore.
I'd like to be turned into like a bunch of fungi.
Because you're a fun guy. Oh shit! Radical Apathy. That was a bad joke.
Yeah, we don't do that here.
That's terrible.
How would you get turned into mushrooms?
Well, they just put you in called a green coffin, I think.
I think I saw an episode of Hannibal about that.
It was a great episode.
That was a good
That was a
episode.
great show.
Yeah.
No, you just they bury you in the ground and you just become one with the earth. That's how I want to go.
Okay. How you want to go? Or is someone gonna be buried?
All right. Get in the hole.
Yeah.
Like I think I'll be dead, but like as
Well.
let me grow into some fungi.
Yeah. That's fair.
Yeah. I to be fair though, I think I know the same person that you know that burns things
Okay.
for
Yeah.
a living.
Sure.
It's a weird job.
Cremator? Cremator is probably what it
I don't
is.
know- I don't know what
Unless
it's
there's
called.
unless there's a cool
Undertaker?
name for it.
Undertaker. I don't know.
I don't know.
That's a wrestler. Come on.
I feel like an undertaker just stands in a window with coffins in the suit.
Just stares out the road.
Yeah, just stares outside.
waiting.
Okay, before we get going,
Okay.
we got a fan question
Yeah, we did.
that we are going to answer.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
And the fan question was, what is the best movie, and everyone can answer this, what is the best movie you've seen that you never want to see again?
That's a weird question. That's a weird question.
2001.
2001: Space Odyssey.
Yeah.
Stanley Kubrick stuff is so boring.
It's just you really have to be ready for Stanley Kubrick if you're going to sit through it, and it is a fundamental.
Already looking at the watch, John?
Yeah. Are we buying up time here for you, John?
Christ.
Sorry.
We were super excited.
5 minutes in,
super excited going to your
looking at
podcast, but I don't want to talk about Stanley Kubrick.
Sorry,
Okay.
my watch. You had a ding. I just looked at it. I
Yeah,
apologize. I'll take it off.
2001 is mine.
2001.
Yeah,
Space Odyssey.
because it's a slog to go through again, but you should see it.
It's a good book, though.
Oh, I can read books. Oh.
Harry Marks.
You're not allowed to talk during this part.
No, go ahead.
Shoot.
John,
No,
what's the movie you never want to see
everyone
again
bring it
that you liked?
Skip me.
Or no, it's that you liked that you never want to see again.
I can't.
Yeah.
You go.
A movie that I liked that I never want to see again.
Or that you can acknowledge is a good film, but you don't want to watch it
But you
again.
don't want to see it again.
Yeah.
Oh. I don't. Okay, so I listen to your guys' podcast.
Sure.
A lot.
Thank you.
Oh,
You guys have watched more. You guys probably watch more movies in a week than I've watched in my entire life.
okay.
All right.
Like I'm not.
So you
watched
still
a lot
see
of
movies, though?
I've seen a few.
How about we'll open it up to television shows?
Supernatural.
Okay, see?
That's a journey to get through.
That's a lot of seasons.
Holy shit.
A lot of seasons.
That's a lot of
I
seasons.
never want to do it again.
No, that's fair.
Yeah.
What about just seasons 1 through 5? Because 5 was the natural ending of that show after season 5.
Yeah, I'd watch like season 1 through 3 again, maybe.
Okay. Yeah.
I got 2. What, you got one?
Have you ever
Tell me.
seen the movie The Fountain?
Oh, with Hugh Jackman.
Yeah.
No.
Okay. Well, I remember really liking that movie, but I don't think I'll ever watch it again.
What was that? I don't know. That was
It was kind of sad. Like I think what happens is he
buys a fountain.
no
He is a fountain.
It's some sort of like he can go, but he goes back and relives. He kind of is in this like ethereal place, and he
His
goes back
name
and
was
relives his life, and kind of is viewing his life, and his he ends up like his wife getting cancer.
Oh,
dies.
no.
It's really
That's
sad.
Click with Adam Sandler.
No, it's not it.
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Great movie.
I remember really liking it, but it's I'll never watch it again.
I got 2.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, no, I don't have 2. I got one that I hate. No, I'm not going to do it. No, okay. The one that I didn't mind.
Yeah.
That I'll never watch again.
Yeah.
The Passion of the Christ. Did you watch that?
Never
You just
saw
felt
it.
fucking bad about yourself?
Never saw it.
Like, oh
I mean,
my
I wasn't
God.
there, but
I don't know what got me into that room, but I
Mel Gibson,
watched
man, he
that
shouldn't direct.
Just like, I'm never seeing this shit again.
But why'd that make you feel bad about yourself?
He
was there.
because you're like because
he was there, didn't do anything.
He didn't stop them.
God, this guy goes through a bunch of shit, and you're just like, oh man, I don't do half the stuff this guy does.
Yeah.
Okay, make the world better.
That's fair.
If that's
I've never seen
if
it. Yeah,
that's true.
yeah.
Whatever.
You know what? I'll watch Mel Gibson, but I'm not a fan of his.
We were
directing.
soldiers.
Mel Gibson wasn't in that movie.
He directed it.
Yeah, he directed it.
That's what I mean. I'll watch Mel Gibson, but I'm not a fan of directing Mel Gibson.
Braveheart.
Lethal Weapon.
Braveheart.
Well, he didn't direct Lethal
I know.
Weapons. But I like the weapon. I like to watch Braveheart. Yeah, I like to watch. I feel like I'm not getting my sentence across. CJ, are you with me here? I like to watch Mel Gibson.
Yeah.
I don't like to watch movies directed by Mel Gibson.
Even Braveheart, though.
I've never seen Braveheart.
Dude, drop your shit.
Okay,
Go watch Braveheart.
So some people are. I mean, Braveheart's a good movie, yes.
Yeah, but some people are like,
it
it's
is
the
not.
greatest
It is.
movie
Yeah,
ever.
it is
It's an
not what people.
It is an
laid up.
amazing movie.
I
That
know.
guy.
And Alistair Cooper's the same way. He has. Well, he's a
Or
Mel
just
Gibson.
name dropping people. Okay, sure.
Yeah, but people who know Alistair know Alistair, and they should
Not
be
his real
about
name.
themselves.
It's an amazing movie.
I forgot to bring up that
Go.
this episode is sponsored. And because we don't usually have our sponsors this early on, but I wanted to call it. So it's this episode with Average Superior is proudly sponsored by DB. Established in 1977, DB is committed to the service and support. DB strives to normalize mental health through open dialogue. DB has discovered as witty, dry, and deadpan. Above all, he's caring and empathetic. He's got no service to sell, no products to peddle. He's just there if you need him. DB, he's just a guy. Thanks
out
for our
to
sponsor,
DB.
DB.
How did DB sponsor you?
He paid money to sponsor the show.
sponsor the
That's how you
show.
sponsor
Are you
the
going to tell them how much you paid?
Yeah, Mel Gibson's a good actor. That's
Yes, he is.
I'll leave it at that.
We had homework. I gave you homework, sir.
You did. So okay.
We might lose our guests on
Yeah,
this.
we're gonna. Okay, so guests.
Yes,
CJ,
I'm sorry about what's about to happen.
You just this happened
Just
to be the
push your mic
homework
away.
for the one you hear. Please jump in though. Please jump in. Even if you want to make fun of it.
I am awaiting with bated breath.
Even if you want to make fun
Even
of
if
it.
you want to make fun of it.
Tell me what the homework you gave me was last week.
We have had a long debate, and this has been going on since maybe June of last year,
Yeah, well, quite well.
about what is the best original series Star Trek movie is.
Yes.
And we finally put boots to ground.
I said The Wrath of Khan.
I said The Undiscovered Country.
So movie number 2, movie number 6. Just really quickly to get a feel for the room. Original series, Kirk, Spock, McCoy, movies that you have watched. Go.
Unwatchable.
Okay.
All of them?
So, okay, I've never seen the movies, but what are those?
They're unwatchable. I've never seen them.
Atlantis is real.
What are those big things that like they look like records, but they were like square shaped?
Laser discs.
And then you could watch shows
Yeah,
on them?
laser discs. Yeah.
So my grandfather had one of those, and I watched all of the TV like shows.
Nice.
So I've seen it.
The television show.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then they went in to make movies after. But yeah,
I've never seen those. I've seen all of the other Star Trek movies, though.
it's like the Next Generation ones.
Yes.
Okay.
All right. What about you, Jay? Jeff.
Gerald.
I believe I've watched them. I don't remember. Like they're so long ago, and I've been actually watching all the newer versions of the TV shows lately.
So my homework, or our homework for this one, was to watch both, and we were going to have a very fast debate on the merits of The Wrath of Khan, which is where I'm at right now for the better film, and Undiscovered Country, where you are. Now, I want to preface this by saying Undiscovered Country is probably my second favorite Star Trek movie of the original series. So I'm not saying in any way it's a bad film, but Khan is better. So how do you want to do this?
So let me tell you what I did.
Okay.
I went over and above. I didn't just watch Undiscovered Country.
Yeah.
I didn't just watch Khan. I watched all 6 original movies in preparation for this.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
And I didn't take notes like I know you got a page full of notes.
I've
there.
got several pages.
I got it in here. I'm up here. I
Okay.
got it. Ready to shit on you.
That's fine.
Yeah. Okay, you go ahead first.
Okay.
Why is Undiscovered Country better? Go.
Okay. And again, feel free to jump in here. And we're going to make this quick
have
for our
nothing.
guests.
We'll make it quick for our guests.
Take
Okay.
your time.
The first this film, I'm going to start the monologue. The first original series film that came out had an insanely high budget because Paramount was very excited for them to make a movie. They did not. They barely made their money back, but fucking barely. And they spent a shit ton of money to make that movie. And Paramount wasn't going to do that again. So they said, okay, you can make a second one, but we're going to take your budget of $44 million and we're going to give you a budget of $18 million to do it. And we're going to cut your costs. So they brought in... what's his first name now? The director is...
Nicholas Meyer.
Myers, thank you. So they brought in Nick Meyer, who also directed Undiscovered Country. He directed both movies, which is why they're both the best ones. They brought him in, and he got Leonard Nimoy to come back to kind of... because Nimoy wasn't going to come back as Spock. He was kind of done, but he read the script. And very early on, everyone on board realized they had a winner of a movie, so they kind of gave him a little bit more budget. And it's the first movie they went to ILM for Industrial Light and Magic, which is the LucasArts CGI house that made Star Wars.
ILM, baby.
Yeah. So this is the first one they used ILM, which was, if you compare these graphics from Wrath of Khan to the first motion picture, it's night and day difference. So they brought in Harvey Bennett to produce. They had Myers do the direct, and for a fraction of the cost, it ended up making just shy of $80 million.
Okay, you're giving me facts.
I'm just laying foundation.
Why is it better?
Foundation, baby. Foundation.
All right.
Okay. I am a firm believer in any form of entertainment, whether it is a book or a TV or movie, your show is only as good as your villain.
Okay.
The villain is the linchpin of any story. It is the linchpin of any conflict, whether the villain's a fucking tornado or a person. And The Wrath of Khan had Ricardo Montalban, who was arguably the biggest billing actor at the time of the movie, on the spreadsheet, refilling a character he played on an episode of the original series and stemming off from that show. So now you actually have tie back and buy-in for the original show into this movie, which he didn't have in the first one. And not only was it Ricardo Montalban's best role of his life, that he put out. I still this one might flip up a little bit, but I still think Kirk was better in Wrath of Khan than I know. They're both
Can't
good.
see my face right now,
Yeah,
but
and spoilers. I don't know if you guys want to get spoilers for a 55-year-old movie. And Spock dies. And one of the most emotional, carrying scenes. And and I was young when I saw it, but to see a main character die, that was one of the first movies I've seen that actually happen. And to give Kirk's performance was the most human. Oh, I'll still cry when I watch it. Anyway, it is a better story than Undiscovered Country. It is a more tight, contained 98-minute story than Undiscovered Country. It is as more proper payoff for the bad villain of the story, and has a better payoff for the end of the.
Did you watch the movie?
Yeah.
Did you watch both of them?
Yes, I did actually.
All right.
So that's Wrath. Undiscovered Country, December 91.
Hold on. I don't want you to say about this one. I will say now why this one is better than that one, and then we can counter argument.
Okay.
All right.
Let's start. Wrath of Khan.
Wrath of Khan, guys.
Wrath of Khan. What do you
Wrath of
say?
Khan?
I would like to know how it compares to the most recent Star Trek film with the same antagonist.
They're all shit.
We'll see. I thought they were really good.
And he will. You know what? I'll hit you up here. So.
Yeah, because the Khan that I know, and I do recall the episode with Khan, but the Khan that I know was played by
Benedict Cumberbatch.
Yes,
Yeah.
which was great.
And I'm a Cumberbitch, by the way.
You are Cumberbatch, yeah. I can see that in you.
My wife doesn't think he's handsome. I think he's a handsome man.
I can see
He's
it.
got a triangle for a face.
It's a nice triangle. It's isosceles.
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
But the storyline. Am I correct in assuming the storyline is much the same?
No,
you are not.
No,
correct.
it's the same in namesakes, but they J.J. Abrams just put a bunch of lens flares in it and changed the backstory. So no.
But is Khan still like a super genetic supervillain?
Yep.
Yeah, it's cool.
Okay.
Yep. Undiscovered Country. Go ahead. Fast.
You took forever.
Well, but now I'm telling you to go fast.
Oh, all right. So, again, they were both directed by Nicholas Meyer. Okay.
Who do? Yeah.
Okay.
Best
And
director, yeah.
so I'm not saying Khan's a bad movie. I'm just saying it's worse than Undiscovered Country.
Yeah.
There is more character development in Undiscovered Country for the main three characters. There's a better arc. You got
He does have a good arc in that movie, though. Like Kirk's old man
Kirk's
coming
arc
the.
is sensational.
It is really good. You're right.
DeForest Kelly's arc is sensational, and you got Spock's arc, and there's nothing cooler than having a murder mystery, and then the guy who gets to solve it is the most logical person in the world, and he uses his logic to figure it out. That's just a cool character.
Yeah.
And that was a cool thing to watch. Okay, go ahead.
No, I'm just trying to point out to my partner over there that his breathing is driving me insane.
I am sick.
Dude,
What do you want from
you
me?
just keep breathing into the mic. You need to keep your face away from that thing. While
It's okay. We can edit it out in post. That's okay.
The villains, again, it's a conspiracy theory, so you don't know who the villain is for most of it, which is compelling. Right. I think a more compelling villain is the one you don't know than the one you do know. And you don't know who the villain is for the majority of this movie, which I think is cool. And you don't know who to trust, and there's a whole lot of trust issues. Again, walking through the murder mystery was the compelling part for me. And then you get to see the arcs of a couple characters that have been in previous Star Trek movies, in Star Trek 4 and 5, not 4, or more 4.
4,
like Admiral Cartwright and a couple of those guys. You get to see their arcs. You get way more character arcs from way more characters that end more satisfactorily here.
Yeah.
You get a Sulu arc, which is really cool.
Captain Sulu.
Yeah, it was a really great arc. So again, I'm just saying character development was way better. If I go, I'm not going to say what's bad about Khan exactly, but I'm going to say it really helped. And people, I think it's a recency bias thing. People think part 2 is really, really good because part 1 was so fucking bad.
They can say the same about 4 and 5.
I don't think so. I think 4 and 5 weren't as nearly as bad as 1. 1 was one of the worst movies I've ever seen.
It's not very good.
I watched it for the first time the other day, and I'm like, there's a reason why.
It's tough to get through.
It is a slog.
It's tough to get through. Yeah.
And recency bias. That's why the second one is thought so well of. Grant, you got the nostalgia and the legacy characters. That does something for it, for sure.
Yeah.
But
I like that.
When you take a new story and better... I think the Klingons are a more legacy character as a villain than Khan is. And it doesn't make sense. Khan's like, okay, you're getting this Genesis device for what? What was he doing with it? He wasn't doing anything with it. He like, I want it, but he never explained why he wanted it. He's supposed to be a superhuman, super smart dude, and he didn't show that in the movie whatsoever.
So in the television show...
And Into Darkness is better than Khan.
he just does that. In the television show, Kirk sends Khan and his superhuman rabbles, as well as the female officer who betrayed them on the Enterprise, and sent them to a planet.
Yeah.
That planet had an ecological disaster where most of them were wiped out.
Yeah.
And Kirk never went back to check on them, to offer any help. He just dropped them off and went on his merry way. And that basically drove Khan insane because his wife died and everybody else kind of died around him. And that sent him insane. So he was going to use Genesis to fix the planet he was on.
Yeah.
Is why he was going to do it.
Yeah.
I like that Christian Slater randomly shows up in Undiscovered Country.
Yeah, I think... yeah, it's really
because
cool.
I remember watching that one in theaters because I remember people losing their goddamn minds.
His mom was the casting director.
Yeah, I remember people lost their minds when Christian Slater showed up on Sulu's ship, and I remember people losing their fucking minds in the theater.
Whatchamacallit? I got to speak into the side of this microphone. The cool thing was that fuck, I don't remember what I was going to say. Go ahead.
But I will say, he also has a great line where where Spock's telling Kirk to help the Klingons, and Kirk hates them because they killed his son in the last movie, and he goes, "Let them die."
Yeah,
that's another great line delivered by.
And it has the greatest, shoot that ship like fire in any Star Trek movie.
I didn't like the ice planet. I found the whole prison thing just slogged the movie down. That's my biggest bad thing about Undiscovered Country is that the prison stuff locked it up too much.
But again, it was a character moment for
the Doctor,
for Kirk and the Doctor, right?
Yeah, it was too much. So
go
bringing it to an end.
Yeah, sure. You're wrong, but I'm sorry.
You've heard the 2 points. You've heard the rundowns of the 2 episodes. You two, Wrath of Khan or Undiscovered Country. Go.
Khan.
I think Corbyn made a better argument.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. We're going to need you to leave the show, though.
You stay right there.
You stay right there.
We have a quick question we ask all of our guests.
Can I ask you a quick question?
Sure.
On the vein of movies here?
Yeah, please do. Yeah.
So when
you can't talk.
When you say Christian Slater,
yeah,
I immediately think of the movie Broken Arrow.
Yes, Christian Slater.
Yeah. What happened to him after that?
He's doing a television show right now, isn't he?
He was on Mr. Robot for a long time.
I never watched that. I started it.
He voices Archer all the time. He plays basically himself on Archer, but I think he's on a television show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is he the voice of Archer?
No, he plays the CIA guy. I forget, but who that hires him sometimes. Right. But he basically is Christian Slater.
Before we get off this, top 5, which is actually a top 6. Boom. It's actually a top 6, which is the top 6 ranked Star Trek movies.
Oh. God, John does not enjoy this show. Okay, go ahead.
Number 6, worst movie ever. Number 1.
Yeah.
By far. Second worst, Search for Spock.
Oh, okay. I thought that'd be hard. Okay.
Is number 5, The Final Frontier.
Okay, so hold on. You started at number 1.
Okay,
so it's number 1.
It's hard to go to the worst. Okay. I'll say them by the names. So
starting worst?
Worst. Okay. 6 is The Motion Picture.
Yeah, okay.
Number 2 is The Search for Spock.
Number 5 is Search for Spock. Okay. Number 4?
Number 4, Final Frontier.
Okay.
Number 3, The Voyage Home.
Okay.
Number 2, Wrath of Khan.
Yeah.
And number 1, The Undiscovered Country. I think there's more replayability in watching that movie, by the way, than there is Wrath of Khan. Because again, I don't think the villain's motives make sense. But that's just me.
Okay. Well, I would agree with you, but then we both be wrong.
If you're a superhuman with super meta whatever, and you want your community to thrive.
Well,
why are you so?
But he wants revenge.
That's what I'm saying.
That's what he wants.
That's very not intellectual, is what I'm saying. But revenge is not intellectual.
But that's the problem with the super soldiers. That's why they had to stop making them, because when they were making the superhumans 80 years before the Star Trek series, that's what they all did. They all got super smart and super strong, but then they all went crazy, and that's why they stopped. That's why that's illegal now.
That wasn't
in
in
the
the movie.
Federation. It wasn't in the episode.
What wasn't in the movie?
But it wasn't in the episode.
Doesn't matter.
Well, the black captain does say before he shoots himself with a laser.
Why do we have to call him the Black Captain?
Because I couldn't remember his name. Because if you watch the episode, you know who I'm talking about. He's when he get the earwigs.
The captain.
Yeah, when him
the other captain.
what's his name? Bennett.
I don't know.
I have to look again.
All right.
I would agree, I would move 2-1, but I would agree with that. Do you guys have a favorite of the original 6 movies?
Well, no, because I haven't seen any of them, but I would like to know where of the Star Trek movies
Like altogether?
altogether, Star Trek First Contact and Star Trek, the J.J. Abrams
Well,
remix
lucky for
fall.
you, I have actually done this list.
I was going to say.
Number 6 is still the best one. First Contact is the second best Star Trek movie.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah,
And then I think Into Darkness is the third best. The one with Khan, the second one.
yeah.
And then The Wrath of Khan, then the original Star Trek, then Star Trek Nemesis,
No.
then Star Trek Beyond, then number 4, then Generations, which was kind of meh.
Yeah, it was also shitty.
Then 5-3, Insurrection 1. Done. Suck it.
Sorry, I can't follow your list. What was the best Star Trek movie?
The best Star Trek one was Undiscovered Country.
But then he's saying First Contact is the
First
second
Contract
best.
is the second best
Yeah.
Star Trek movie.
Okay.
Yeah, and I would say The Wrath of Khan, First Contact, Undiscovered Country.
So we're
Contact
very
was
close.
good.
We're very
Yeah.
close.
And until Wrath of Khan, which had the best music of Star Trek, Undiscovered Country was good. But until First Contact had the best score of all Star Trek movies.
Did you know that I didn't know this until I watched the movie the other day, the horrible, horrible motion picture, was that the Next Generation music, they made it for the motion picture?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Except the movie was terrible.
Except it sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you watched the new Brave New World show? I think it's Star Trek Brave New World, it's called.
I've seen the first season. Yes.
I just started watching
With
it.
Pike.
Yeah.
Right? Pike in the Enterprise?
I just started watching it and I like it.
I like it too. I think it's the most return to form Star Trek of all the new ones.
I really like Discovery, but I only watched the first season and I stopped there because I thought it was perfect.
I got through 2 and I stopped.
If you watch the third season of Discovery, you will blow your fucking brains out.
Like it's bad?
It is that bad.
Okay, I don't want to do
There's
that.
so much
That's why I
crying.
stopped. I thought the first season was perfect.
It was great.
Is that
like
the-
I never need to watch this again.
Is that the one that leads into the Brave New World?
Yeah.
Yeah. I watched all of it, and yeah, it gets really bad. at
There's
the
so
end.
much crying. You're on a professional military ship and everyone is fucking crying all the time. Like,
Okay.
what is happening?
All right, worst crier in all of cinema. Go.
In all of cinema?
I've got this.
Oh, go. I don't have to think about it.
Sorry.
Yeah,
No,
go.
I
Yeah,
just
go ahead.
What's that TV show? It's like The Blacklist, but it's not. It was with a girl.
Gilmore
She's the
Girls.
CIA agent.
Claire Danes.
Yes!
In fucking Homeland.
The worst.
The worst crier on television.
You had the same answer?
Yes.
Look at you guys being wired in.
The worst.
I love it. We have a gift for you guys.
Okay.
For joining us on our show.
Can I tell you a fun fact about our podcast before you step away?
please. We'll totally ask
of course.
Did you know that in our have you heard our intro theme?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's.
Yeah.
I made notes about it. Go ahead.
Did you know that one of the lines from that is from Star Trek Discovery?
What really is?
Yeah.
Wow. Who made that, by the way?
I did.
Very good.
Yeah, thank you.
Good job.
Oh no, I wrote about your closing. Your closing sounds like you have someone with a gun to your head and you're reading off the terrorist cue card. It's what I wrote down.
Okay, I'll fix that.
Okay,
later.
one
That's what I
thing
wrote
we
down.
ask all of our guests.
Hold on, gift. Hold on.
I
One
like
sec.
the
You have
Gift.
to, okay, I'll ask him this while you're doing this. Okay, one thing we ask all our guests is what their favorite movie is, because we think you could tell a lot about a person when you find out what their favorite movie is.
That's true. You can. Go
So,
ahead.
what is each of your favorite movies? And why is it Undiscovered Country?
Genre or does it?
favorite movie.
Your favorite movie. You
Go.
think
Yeah.
you can go back to over and over and over again.
You thought of it already. It popped in your head. Now you're just second
Yeah,
guessing.
it's just in there.
Instinctively,
Yeah.
Braveheart comes to mind, but I don't know if it's definitely top couple. I just can't. There's other ones that I know I love, but Braveheart definitely pops.
Can't think of them. You're thinking of Braveheart.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. TJ?
I don't like living in a binary world where I just have
Never
to
heard
have
of it.
one. But if I,
Bible
had,
goes west.
if I had to have one, it would be Independence Day.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's fun.
Yeah.
Fun. Yeah. I'll still talk to both of them.
Yeah. I gotta show my kid Independence Day. Actually, that's a good one to show him.
Don't do the sequel. That was fucking garbage.
No, that was terrible.
to thank you guys for. So on our show, we give our guests gifts instead of making them bring things. So we wanted to thank you guys for coming on our show with a fresh bottle of Smirnoff Ice, crisp, refreshing Smirnoff Ice that you guys can have.
Oh, thank you.
It's so
As a
delicious.
gift. You're very welcome.
It's so delicious.
Mighty kind of you.
Now we've done our top 5 really quickly. What are you playing? This is another segment we try and do on our show called "What Are You Playing?"
What are you playing?
What are you playing right now, Corbin? What are you playing?
So last time I was playing God of War 3.
Yep.
And now I've moved to 2017 God of War.
Ooh, nice.
Ooh, okay,
And the new release of Contra.
Yes,
That just came out.
Is it good?
It's phenomenal.
Is it like Contra 3?
It's like Contra.
The first Contra.
Yeah,
Yes.
but a little nicer to look at.
and better.
Okay.
Yes, it's
Yeah.
amazing.
Would you get it on the Xbox? Or
I got a
Switch?
PS5
Oh, okay.
because I heard it ran like trash on the Switch, so I didn't get it.
Yeah,
on
no, I was going to don't get the Switch, but if no,
Switch might be dead, actually.
it's not dead.
But no, like I mean, for new games, like new games just aren't running well.
Well, and Nintendo hasn't have anything coming out, like nothing released for this year even.
You know how old the Switch is?
6 years?
2017.
Yeah.
That's a long time.
Yeah.
March 2017. That's insanity. How old
New
it
one's
is.
coming.
Yeah. All right. Well, what do you got? What are you playing?
What do you play right now, CJ?
I can basically contribute nothing to this. I haven't played a video game in over probably 2 years, except for some abandonware Command and Conquer a while ago.
Okay, CNC. That's all right.
So what you say is myself.
Yeah.
Mer.
Yeah.
Playing with
Assisted
myself.
release.
No, just me. Just me. I was the only one on that.
John?
Okay, well, I picked up D4 again today. I was playing-
Diablo 4 for
Diablo
our
4.
uninitiated.
Yeah, I didn't know what that was. That's
Yeah.
good to know.
I was playing that again today. I'm got back into World of Warcraft a little bit,
you did.
unfortunately.
That's still a thing, eh?
Dude, yeah, it's like my cocaine, or
Really?
my crack. I cannot.
Is it a? Let me ask you some things.
Yeah.
Is it a paid subscription
It is, yeah.
thing
Yeah, it's like $14 a month.
to play?
Yeah,
And then
I've
okay.
been playing that game since 2006.
Yeah.
like
You're almost 20 years.
You're married and stuff, eh?
I am, yeah.
Okay.
But shocking, weird. I know, but I keep coming back to it. Like I'll take hiatuses. Like we played together for a while,
Yep.
And then like I'll go like I screwed this game, and I'll let a year will go by, 2 years will go by, and then I don't know what it is. I'll just get sucked back in. And
Is it like completely different when you get back to it?
a lot of it is like, there's a lot of things to like relearn and figure out, and there's new expansions, and like they've continually developed and changed and added expansions, and so there's always new things to do.
So I remember GameStop used to have when media was physical.
Yeah.
Like World of Warcraft releases.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
at
Oh, yeah,
midnight,
I
and
was the
lined out the door.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
you were that guy?
Oh, I was the guy. I was there.
Didn't we go line up for something?
We went to the Xbox, not this one, the previous, maybe even the 360.
Xbox One.
I don't know what. It was the one, right?
Yeah, Xbox One. Yeah, we lined up
yeah.
outside to get the Xbox One when it came out.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
okay.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
I lined up for Red
GameStop.
Dead Redemption, and
Yeah.
then I
Yeah.
returned it a week later.
The first Red Dead Redemption, I loved. I could not play number 2.
It was unplayable.
I agree with you.
Controls were unplayable.
Yeah, I just was so tired of trying to ride my horse from A to B just to do a mission, and then you get distracted by a fox that you need to shoot because you need that pelt to upgrade something.
I hated it.
I just couldn't do it.
Like I
anymore.
don't want my video games to feel like work.
Oh,
And yet you'll go kill 20 boars to get.
okay, to be fair, 100%. But to be fair, the reason I like PC gaming and like playing something on PC is I have 2 screens, so I can do that while I watch a show or like, and it's just like mindless, like just murdering things on the screen over here, and I can actually watch a show over here.
Okay.
Still playing Helldivers 2, but I picked up Dragon's Dogma 2, which just came out. So I've been playing that one.
I've never even heard of that one.
Yeah.
Can I make a complaint to you?
Oh, please. Yeah.
Okay. I wasted $90 on Baldur's Gate 3.
Okay.
I know how much he loves that game.
Yeah.
And he sold it to me. He's like, this is the
did.
best game of the year.
It was.
So I literally was like, I trust you. I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
cool, let's do this. I buy it. Didn't even look at any gameplay. Looked at nothing. I just like, all right, cool. It looks cool. The like wizards and stuff. Awesome. Let's do it. Bought it. Log into it, and I'm like, oh no, I hate those types of games.
CRPGs.
Describe it to me because he didn't spend any time
Yeah,
selling it to me.
essentially, it's I hate it because it's like, so you have a dude, you walk him forward, and then you get in a fight. Okay, but you don't just get to like hack and slash anything. No. You have to like plan out the fight, and if every stupid little fight takes forever.
Turn-based.
So it's like Dragon
all,
Warrior.
It's all turn based, and I'm like, I'm never gonna play this game. I literally played 30 minutes of it, and I tried to figure out if I could return it, and on digital, and they're like, no, you can't.
Spent
return
more
games.
time trying to figure out if you can return it than play it.
Here's one thing I'll ask then.
Yes.
Because you can play multiplayer. So what I would ask is give me an hour to play with you, and I bet you I can change your mind.
Wouldn't that make the fights longer?
No, because it's
turns?
still turn-based.
That's more
Well,
turns.
I know what I'm doing, so it'll be turn done, and then he can take his time. But give me an hour with you, and I bet you I can change
Maybe,
your
but there's just like so many freaking options. It's like, hey, well, I don't know. Do I move forward 2 spaces, or do I throw an axe at the guy's face? I don't know what to do.
That's right. You don't want to fuck that up.
Yeah, exactly. Anyway, so that's my gripe.
That's what we're playing. That's one of our new little fun ones.
If they could bring out BioShock again, I would play video games again.
That is a good game.
I've heard that's fun. I've never played
BioShock. I think it's
BioShock's
BioShock Infinite is possibly the best video game I've ever played.
When they're up in the clouds.
Yeah.
Did you ever play Dead Space?
Fucking love.
Oh.
Love Dead
That was
Space.
so good.
That's
The remake was insanely good.
Is it good? I haven't played it.
It's fantastic.
Yeah, it's good.
It's very close to the original, but they've cleaned it up.
And scary.
It is a scary game.
Like scary.
Yes.
It freaked me out.
So I don't know about you guys, but I've got a home theater with a 9.1 thing going on, and so it plays on that 9.1 like you are in it.
Yeah.
And
That's awesome.
And my screen's 120 inches, and so like you're in this
which is
game.
average.
Yeah.
Which is average, ladies.
Yeah.
But like when those aliens come from behind, like it terrifies the shit out of
Yeah.
you. And it works.
I love the first one, and I kept thinking about getting the second one, but the new version, I just haven't done it.
They clean. You know what? The big one thing they cleaned up was that stupid cannon level. They got rid of that because it was so frustrating. Remember how bad that was?
I do, yeah.
Yeah. So they cleaned that up. That's gone.
It's a lot of fun.
That's a great game.
Yeah, it's a great remake.
You would like that. It's similar to BioShock in some of the ways, but like it's also like BioShock was kind of creepy in certain times. But this was like, this was
I just love
It's legit scary.
I love the steampunk aspect of BioShock.
Yeah.
Like
You would more get like Dishonored, a game like Dishonored.
Yeah.
That's probably more
and
BioShock.
I struggle to find time in my day. That's why when you said, he said I played Diablo 4 today. Like I have a pretty good idea of what your schedule was today. I don't know when you had time to do
So
that.
literally, I got home from work. My wife and daughter went to a basketball. My son was there. I made supper. I did the dishes. My son was 8. He jumped on the VR. So I was like, I got an hour before I got to get to the podcast. So I just sat down on the couch and played for an hour.
Yeah, you gotta make time.
What VR does he play?
We have an Oculus Quest.
Okay.
Not the new one, but the last one.
Okay. Cool.
What kind of VR games does he play?
I don't know. The stupid Gorilla Tag one. He's always sweaty. So I'm like, at least he's doing something. Like I know it's still video games, whatever. But like he's like just like moving and he takes the thing off and he's dripping sweat and like, well, I guess at least he's being active. If this you can call that active, I don't know.
He doesn't get nauseous?
No.
I would love to play the Resident Evil games.
Yeah, that'd be good.
I'll play the new Half-Life one, the Half-Life Alyx.
Have you guys done VR? Yeah, probably. Like
Not really. Not really.
Like we should all go to that VR-cade.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Or
No.
No.
Dude, I did VR last week for like 2 weeks ago for like 5 minutes.
Yeah.
I had to come home and take a gravel and take a nap.
You're so old.
I respect that actually.
Oh, it was tough.
It depends on the games, because like the games where
Totally.
you're moving in space while you're in there, I struggle with that too.
Yeah, your brain will freak out.
My dad tried it. So my dad puts it on, and there's this one game where you kind of fly around a city, and you have this like jetpack, and you can like based on where your hands are, it pushes you that certain direction. And he doesn't do good motion already. It was a bad idea to put him on, and he starts like getting dizzy, and he goes to lean against the non-existent building in the VR world, and so he goes to like rest on it to like get his balance, and he wipes out. He takes out my like wife's desk downstairs and like smashes a printer, and it like hurts his arm. And I'm like, oh my god! I tried to like stop him, I couldn't catch him, and he just smashed it.
That's
It was, like,
awesome.
Yeah,
That's amazing. We have questions for our guests when they come on our show, and they're in depth.
I'm ready.
They're gonna.
We don't fuck around, guys.
We're gonna get inside of you with our questions.
I'm ready.
Yeah, you are.
We asked favorite movie. I'm curious. What's your favorite video game?
I think I just answered that.
Yeah, I know. But sorry, Command and Conquer or
No, BioShock.
it is
Infinite.
BioShock.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, Infinite.
Although I will say there was a period in 2020 and 2021 where I just played Call of Duty ad nauseum.
It's a good time killer, right? Turn your brain off and just I can see that.
I don't know. It's a hard one. So, God of War, the series, like just the lore and the mythology, I love it. It's all of them. I love them. I know they're very different in gameplay from like 1, 2, and 3 to what they are now, but I love that world.
We can agree though the Norse gods are way less cool than the Greek gods.
Kind of, but like not this newest one, but the one before where right at the beginning he fights that skinny Norse god.
Yeah,
I love that fight. That fight was cool.
It was a good fight.
It was a sweet fight. I just like games that have like really cool worlds to kind of get sucked into. Yeah. Skyrim was like that. I played the crap out of that game. The game I probably played the most is World of Warcraft. I don't know if it's because it's good. I just it's like nostalgic. I got stuck on it, and it just is what it is. I don't know if I have a definitive. This is for sure my favorite game, but I like games in general. I'm a nerd.
That's fair. Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's talk about your podcast a little bit. I just want to know, why did we start? Why do you continue to do it?
So we started actually as a different podcast. We did probably like 30 some episodes called the EM podcast, Easy Mode. And I don't know, so it was all about cryptocurrencies, and we're giant nerds.
Who is more into cryptocurrency out of the two of you?
I don't know who pulled who.
Me.
Okay, I'm going to ask you a question.
Yeah.
Who knows more about cryptocurrency between the two of you?
I think he does.
Today.
I know nothing about anything new, but I think in general, CJ knew a bit more in depth than I did, for sure.
Were there times when you just couldn't, like, this guy's a fucking idiot?
Yes.
That's fair. Yeah, so we started off as that, and then once we both decided that this was stupid and we shouldn't stop wasting our time on this thing, cryptocurrency that is, we still wanted to do it because it was a lot of fun. Like, we started like literally in my like walk-in closet with it was like the size of like the two of us with a stand in the middle and the mic, and that's where we started, and we just wanted to continue doing conversations because we would always divulge into something else other than crypto.
It kind of wrote itself because like the first 10 episodes were like strictly crypto.
Yeah.
And then we're like, we have other things that we want to talk about and that we have in common. So it'd be like, well, let's talk about crypto for 10 minutes and then let's like take a right-hand turn into something else. And kind of just like it wrote itself in the sense that we're like, okay, first off, crypto's dumb. And like, and there's some cool things about it, but like, especially like we were in like the, like basically the gambling casino side of crypto, it felt like, right?
I like what you're saying.
Yeah. Like none of it was real and it was all just made up, and like kind of like the what's that TV show with Drew Carey? Whose line is it anyways? That's basically the crypto world we were in. Yeah. So it just kind of evolved into us talking about other things,
the things that we like, and we're repetitive, and we're both very much into like I think self-improvement to some degree, and we always end up talking about that kind of stuff like fitness, reading.
Me and Tanner love fitness
and reading is
reading. Do you read books?
I do read books.
I read books.
Yeah.
I read books.
Cold plunges, jiu-jitsu.
Cold plunges. Yeah, we do a lot of cold plunge talk on our podcast.
Oh, love the cold plunges.
What's been the most difficult thing about creating and even publishing a podcast for you guys?
So for me, not self-censoring myself.
Yeah,
that's honestly been the toughest.
Censoring?
Not censoring myself. Not self-censoring. Yeah. So like in our podcast, and I'm sure when you guys not too long ago were on our podcast, it's a lot of fun when you can just have unbridled conversations without like lines in the road. I find sometimes like one of the things that like we enjoy talking and having guests on our podcast and like being on other people's podcasts now. This is the first one. Yay. Because like it's a good chance for us to connect with our friends and talk about things that are important to us. And like when we self-censor, we suddenly it like kills the authenticity, I think, of the conversation. So like for me, that's been the toughest thing is like, I am who I am. I'm going to talk about the things I want to talk about. I am good intentioned in most of the things I do, or everything I do, I try and be good intentioned. And like, if somebody receives the things we talk about in the wrong way, it's not intended, but I don't think that's what we want, but like, it should not be a reason for us to censor what we talk about.
Have you faced any repercussions? Has anyone like emailed you or
No.
nothing like that? Hey,
No, I don't think that many people are listening. First of all, but I agree. I think that you have to be very. I think the only way to do this is to be you. You have to be authentic, because if you're trying to be something you're not, especially after 41 episodes, people are either going to see through that and they're like, "Well, you're not. This is different than what you said last week." But also, I think we're always open to changing our minds or changing our opinions. If we're wrong about something and there's evidence to support that, like this is a new philosophy, a new idea pops in, we're 100% like, okay, how does this fit in? Because maybe that makes sense. And I think that throughout the 40 episodes we've done, we've shown that like there's things that I think we've changed our minds on throughout. And even in a conversation we'll be having, the three of us arguing about something, I'll be like hard on one side, and then by the end of it, I'm like, yeah, you're probably right.
So you're now of the opinion that Atlantis never existed. Is what you're saying?
No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm thinking he still could have existed.
Okay, do your wives listen to your podcast?
Mine started to when we started. She listened a little bit, but not anymore.
Not anymore?
No.
So yeah, same. She just stopped.
And do you think that's because they were like, these guys are fucking nuts?
Yeah, I think they hear too much. We say the same things all the time, and whether
She's heard your stories.
100%. It doesn't matter if we're sitting here talking or I'm talking to somebody else. Like she's heard it all. Usually, she'll listen to certain ones. Like we did one podcast with Shannon Clark, who is a MMA fighter, a pro MMA fighter who we helped train, and she was interested to hear what that was about. So she listens to certain ones with certain guests because she's kind of curious as to what they have to say. But in general, no, she doesn't listen to me more than she has to.
Tanner, does your wife listen to the podcast?
No,
hey?
No.
Seriously? That surprises me.
Does yours?
Mine does. Yeah, she listens to it on her drive to work.
No, I before I come and do a podcast with you or guests, I make my wife sit down and I tell her all the jokes I'm going to do right to her face, and I do it. You know, it's not natural like I can do it here, so I'm just yelling at her. I'm like, and so she does. I don't think she wants to listen to them after that.
I thought of another video game because you're talking about your wife, who I know, and The Witcher.
Oh yeah, she's a big Witcher fan.
The Witcher 3 video game. I love that too.
Let me tell you what I don't like, and I think I mentioned this. I don't like complicated skill trees in games. And so if the game has a complicated skill tree, I'm out. I don't want to. Is my mic loud enough? By the way, I can't hear myself.
Yeah, I
sounds
up.
good.
Okay,
yeah,
good,
sound
good.
Yeah.
Anyway, complicated skill trees, and then. How's that?
There you go.
Oh, there we go.
That's something.
Yeah, I'm out if it has a complicated skill tree. So actually, I'm playing God of War right now.
Yeah.
And it's kind of got a fucked up skill tree. Like it's like
2017 one.
Yeah, it's confusing. It's put this on your axe, put that. You got enchantments and runes, and I'm like, geez, just make it simple. Like I don't want to fucking think when I play a game.
Yeah.
It's
Hello, is this on? Hello.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Jesus.
And another thing, I didn't like it when horses were able to walk themselves either. I wasn't a fan of that. She's out of my way.
I don't think I sounded like that.
Yeah, you didn't. He was being rude.
Yeah.
If only you guys could get mics where you could just talk into the top of them, this would be a lot easier.
Why? I like talking to the side of Mike.
It's our mics are actually we talking to the top of them. We can't
our
talk
mics
into
talk.
the side.
Yeah, you can't talk on the side. It's the exact opposite. That's why we're
off,
so not because ours
used
is the
to it.
exact opposite.
Okay.
Yeah.
This trips up a lot of people.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
Because it makes no sense.
different. Well, it's good for a boom arm, right? That you're using.
Budget mics.
It's just what it does.
That's it. We got budget mics.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Us too.
What's your high water mark for your podcast? Your most fondest memory. Well, first off, when did you start it? Like what date ish?
The average superior.
This one?
Yeah.
Beginning of last year, 2022, I think.
Last year was 2023.
The beginning of thank you. The beginning of 2023, I believe, or maybe very end of 2022, beginning of 2023.
Are you also a fortnightly podcast? It feels like every 2 weeks.
It depends on the week. We were trying to do weekly for a while, but it just happens.
Yeah, that's tough. Okay.
Scheduling.
Sorry, continue.
Is his wife tired of you yet?
No.
Okay.
No.
Hey, let me ask you: is your wife tired of him yet?
She is like every time I need to give her more heads up because I'm always like, hey, just by the way, we're podcasting tonight, and she's like, fuck.
Like she could be coming out of the bathroom. You're like, fuck it. You walk in that door. You're like, I'm coming in.
I am here.
Yeah.
What is the high watermark for our podcast?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I can't think of a single episode where I'm like, oh, this was the best one. I get a lot of gratification out of listening to our podcast episodes after we record them. Like, this is a lot of fun. This is definitely the highlight of it. But like, for example, when you guys were on our podcast a long time ago,
Yeah.
I'm going to get a ton of enjoyment out of listening to it again and laughing at the same shit we laughed at in the thing. So like for me, that's probably the highlight, is like I get to relive like the fun times again.
Yeah.
That's cool.
It's nice that it's there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think it's on that note, it's going to be really cool for like us, but it's also cool. Like the reason I started listening to your guys' podcast and I was like, oh, I really like this, is because like I don't necessarily have things in common. Like I'm not a huge gamer, right? Mm-hmm. But when you guys talk, I'm like, I get to be part of their lives. I get to like laugh at the things they're laughing at. I get to feel like I'm there without actually like being there, which is like a huge draw for me. And so I guess I get to experience the same things in listening to our podcast that I do when listening to yours. It's just kind of like like very revitalizing.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I find it interesting because we're more and more we're kind of running into people like around the nursing home or other things that are like, hey, like I listened to that, or like you said, they'll say something like, oh, like on the podcast. I'm like, oh, like you've listened to the podcast. Like it's strange, and then like you said, like that it's weird in a way because they feel like they're part of something that you didn't remember, you didn't tell them about it, but you just to send it out into the whatever the cloud.
Yeah. You're sitting in your car, but you're sitting with these people,
right? And so they're like in the conversation, and they hear the things, and they understand what's going on in your life because he's talked about it or whatever. And so it's like there's like a closeness from them to you, but isn't not reciprocated necessarily because you don't even know that you've transmitted that information to them.
Yeah.
So like it's very weird, and it like makes you wonder about these guys with like gigantic like Joe Rogan, like his gigantic podcast who literally millions of people listen to, and I've listened to so many of them. It feels like you know the guy, right? So if I ran into him, I feel like I know everything about him.
Joe,
and he's like, oh, hey man, like he doesn't have a clue, right?
Yeah.
So it's like a weird relationship almost that it's like you know so much and they know nothing.
Do you forget what you say sometimes?
100%.
Because I forget week to week what I say.
The second I drive away from here, I don't remember.
Yeah.
And so we actually, with our hosting platform that we use, we have this AI thing now that can like, it listens to the podcast and then pops out a summary. Because usually when I go to like 3-4 days later when we put this up, it's like, I don't even know what to put in the summary because I don't know what we talked about.
Yeah.
Just like, and then he got mad at me because like, you keep saying the same thing, like random, here we are talking about random things. You say that every time. I was like, it's because I don't remember. And so now the AI listens and like pops out this like ridiculous long.
it's terrible. It's three paragraphs.
It's hilarious.
Yeah.
And sometimes they're so bad and sometimes they're kind of accurate and you're like, whatever.
Do you guys listen to your own podcasts afterwards?
Depends. I mean, I listen to because I edit them, but I'll listen to some if I'm just out and about doing something. I generally listen to your guys's more. But then if there's something that I thought, I was like, oh, yeah, that was a funny thing, and I'll go back and listen to it. But I don't think I've listened to one from start to end. I don't think.
I've listened to ours.
Okay.
Because I'm like, what was that thing funny that we said? And then I want to, and I find myself laughing at our shit all over again.
I'm so funny. I just need to go back and listen to myself. It's so nice to hear.
Do you find that you pick up things that you're like, oh, I need to stop doing that, or?
I can tell you what he does. I can tell you what he does that he needs to stop doing. We got a table that our mics are attached to, and Tanner is always like, smacking this table as he's talking, and you can like hear the mic shaking and shit when we're doing it. I'm like, stop shaking the table.
Yeah, I'm a tapper.
He taps. He's got to. This is what I'm talking about.
I've been intentionally this whole time keeping my hands in my lap, not touching this table.
It's fidgety.
Because I just want to.
I wonder why you were sitting with such great posture.
Yeah, you gotta have good posture, guys. It's important. I've been listening to you for a while now. I did try when you first started on the crypto.
Yeah,
and I got halfway through the second one. I'm like, all right, I'm out.
Yeah, I think that's happened to most.
But then I came back with Average Fear because it was super funny. You guys find yourselves in verbally combative situations sometimes.
Yep.
And I don't know, we should speak to, we don't have the third party of Average Superior here with us today.
Jason's not with us.
Jason's not here.
We can't afford a fifth mic.
Yeah, that is why. So I'm not because of Jason, but I'd say more so with the implementation of Jason. There's been some good heated arguments. So what 41 in, what has been, I want both of your sides, the biggest issue of contention that has come up or continues to come up between you guys over your conversations? The one thing that sticks in your craw, if you would.
I honestly can't think of anything off the top of my head. I would agree. We've had some disagreements and arguments. I guess you can call them arguments, but I never leave here like. This is why I think it's important that we have more people should not necessarily do podcasts, but sit down and sit with their friends and talk for hours, right? Because everyone's got a different opinion, different version of, they have a different perspective on life. So having a disagreement with that, but then being able to do that, and we can get mad at each other, swear at each other, call each other idiots. But in the end, I walk away from here being like, "Oh, this is awesome! This is great chat." And and either we've come to just agree to disagree, or we've kind of come to maybe some sort of central thing. I don't know, but I can't think of one on the top of my head that we actually. That was heated to the point where I was pissed about something. We might get heated in the moment because we're passionate about it and we disagree with each other. But I feel like our conversations are fairly. We get to an end point somewhere. Whether that is okay, I guess we don't just agree. We don't agree, or it's we kind of find something that we can. I don't know.
I'm gonna jump in really quickly because I watched my question and you had an answer right away, but you gave a very nice, easy answer, which I don't want you to pull back now because his was very politically correct.
I'm not trying to be politically correct.
Because I know you have an answer. I saw it come in your eye.
I think I have the same answer he had. The reason you saw me jump like that is because somebody texted me the other day and they were like, "Oh, I was listening to your latest episode. Man, you guys got heated." And I was like, "We did?"
Yeah.
It's because I listened to him. I can't think of a single issue also that has actually resulted in any type of contention. And I feel the same way. We're able to discuss things and then disagree. And then as soon as that topic or the disagree, as soon as we move on from that, it's not an issue. And I guess I find it people today are really uncomfortable with having opposing viewpoints or disagreement. Right. And I think that's probably more so amplified on Twitter X.
We're using both now, not just Twitter or X. Twitter X.
People are really uncomfortable with the fact that somebody may not think the same as you. And if everybody, I think it speaks to the strength of the podcast format is hey, we can sit down and in the course of a 2-hour discussion, we're going to agree on 46 out of 50 things we talk about. And that means that we're going to have 46 things that cement us and 4 things that we're just I guess we don't agree on that, right? It's, he doesn't like dogs. I like dogs. Okay, great.
That's actually a disagreement we had about dogs.
Yeah, right. But then we've talked about all these other things. We're we have all these things in common. I can get along with people I disagree with. So I guess that's why it's part of the reason why I really enjoy podcasting is because it's a good reminder that long form nuanced conversations with your friends or people in general are super powerful. If we did it more, we'd probably have less issues.
Okay, so that's good and all.
Yeah, but that was very fucking polite.
But who's right more?
Yeah. Who wins more?
Who wins the conversation more?
Yeah, I'm definitely right more.
Yeah. Nah, incorrect.
What about Jason? Is he third place for sure?
So and just
I feel
he just comes up with nothing.
What episode did he become permanent in?
I don't remember.
How did we get Jason?
I don't even know. He kind of volunteered. He kind of was I'll be your Jamie. He's kind of he'll be the guy that Google searches, which he never does.
Yeah, he does zero of that.
Doesn't do well.
Yeah, and then he's supposed to take notes. Doesn't do that either. I find that he likes to be the antagonist. He kind of likes to get things.
He's a contrarian.
Yeah, he likes to very much so. He likes to get you riled up, just to get you riled up. I think. I don't know I don't know what episode he came in and became permanent, but I don't know. I truly feel like the conversations that we have are conversations. We talk about some things that again, we don't want to self-censor. So we talk about some things that they're hard to talk about because they're very sensitive to nature.
Like Atlantis.
Yeah, like Atlantis. But social things that are very hard. People really have a lot of big emotions to them on one side or the other, right? And I like talking about those things because I think it's important to sort out kind of how you see them and how they actually formalize your actual opinion on them and why. So we like to have those discussions, and it's just sometimes in the world we live in, you feel like you should be tiptoeing around things, but that's not the right way to do that. I think you just have to be able to say, this is why I think this, and if I'm wrong, let's talk about that. But that's what I think. That's what I enjoy doing in my personal life, and that's why I love doing this on this. So I don't know.
So Curtis is right more.
Yeah, you agree Curtis is right more?
Yeah, he's not.
That's what I heard.
Yeah.
No, I'd say 30% of the time.
Oh,
wow.
Okay.
And then Richmond, the other 70, or
No.
Oh, okay,
5. Yeah.
So if I'm doing math here,
What's going to make you guys stop? Do you think? Just
I don't have any intention of stopping.
nuclear winter.
Yeah.
Nuclear winter?
It'll probably be nuclear war. Wouldn't we all stop?
But then you could be that weird loner in the bunker.
Yeah, with the CB radio.
Yeah, that's right.
Have you seen that skit on the New Kids in the Hall, where he's playing he's the DJ for the end of the world, and no one's listening?
The new one, right? The new ones they
brand
did, they
new
brought
one,
back.
yeah, the brand new one.
Yeah,
That's a gold skit.
yeah. Actually, it was them coming back is actually really good.
Can I turn the tables on you here?
Yeah.
So,
round.
because we talked about this a little bit I was rotate the table. We talked about this a little bit when we did our podcast with you guys a long time ago. And because we always joked, right? Like, I would love to make like a lot of money podcasting because I enjoy this. I don't necessarily see that in our future. Again, we always joke, we're like, oh, we have like 3 listeners, like, oh, that's pretty much where we're going to get to.
Yeah.
What would make you guys stop?
I mean, if you gave me like a paper straw in a drink, I'd probably throw it in his face.
Yeah.
Apathy. Honestly, the answer is apathy.
Yeah.
Like for both of us, I think.
Yeah,
Apathy.
I do this as long as I'm having fun, and as I said earlier, Corbyn's my fun. So as long as when that
Yeah, bitch.
when that ends, I'm gone and
I'm out.
Yeah, but no, I would touch you if I could.
Oh, he's always trying to kiss me, you guys. You don't even know this. This is true.
I'm not surprised.
I'm glad that we can be a barrier between you and
Oh,
him.
you have no idea.
One day,
It's a safe space for you.
One day he's gonna get me.
It's gonna
He's
get
gonna
you.
go 2 fingers right in your coccyx.
We were
good.
doing our show, and after every show he'd be on stage and he'd try to fucking kiss me afterwards. And I'm like, no, get out of here. Stop it.
Stop, but keep going.
Yeah,
You
I
have
tried
1 hour
the
to
same.
stop.
I tried the same thing on The Last of Us when I did that with the Mandalorian, and he never let me kiss him either.
Okay, name dropping.
When I was an extra standing at his window, that he rolled up and just stopped talking to me.
That's true. That's true. He did. Yeah, he didn't. Yes, he'd be a good kisser.
Maybe.
Got a lot
Yeah.
of facial hair.
Like Velcro. Put it together.
Who drives the show more?
I don't know. I feel like we're fairly.
I do.
Yeah.
You drive the show more?
No,
between us?
I know who on there.
Who drives our show more?
Depends on the day.
Depends on the day.
Depends who's come with what energy.
Yeah.
Sorry, back to you guys.
Yeah, I think it's the same for us. I think we have. Okay, to be fair, I think I talk too much, so I think maybe I tend to take over more than I should. If I'm being self-critical, I think I tend to drive it a bit more. I usually change the subjects when we're not done talking about subjects. Anyway, we move on. I don't know, but I feel like we're fairly flexible.
You like to talk about things like in paragraph format.
Yeah. Kind of like the Star Trek thing at the beginning here. Yeah.
Long format.
Listen, if you guys weren't here, that conversation would have went an hour.
I was really chipping at that.
Really were
that would have
shortening me.
That would have easily been an hour and a half.
The whole episode.
Yeah, but we'll have a guest coming up who's a crazy Star Trek fan. So I want to keep some of that for that because
you
that'll
say
be the whole conversation.
Who's that? Who's that
one?
That is a doctor friend of mine who's the biggest Star Trek fan I know.
That's perfect.
Yeah.
I want you to know that I consulted the biggest Star Trek fan I know.
Oh, wow.
And he agreed. Actually, he went like this. I'm not even fucking lying. He went 6-4-2.
But see, people have a weird thing with 4. People have just this. I would have probably placed it where you did, but just there's a mass audience of Star Trek who just has this weird.
It's a Star Trek movie that's not in the stars, which is weird.
You're.
Speaking of Star Trek, just a side note, I was watching the movies, like all 6 of them, and I've kept going with Generations and whatnot, and I'm going to go through all of them. But they're always they're about to get in battle, and they're like, shields! I'm like, why don't you have your shields up all the time? Like, why are you ever taking them down?
Because shields.
I don't get it.
Shields actively pulls onto lithium crystals. So if they
gosh.
don't have, if they're up all the time, the lithium crystals last like 25% of their actual life.
Literally regretting asking this question.
Well, you asked the question. So
I
you asked the question.
Can I take it back?
I mean, you asked the question.
I'm taking it back.
So I'm going to answer a question if you ask it. So,
Jeez.
if you guys were given $50,000 to plan a trip, and you were going to plan a trip for the other. So CJ give you 50 grand, you're going to plan a trip for him. John, I give you 50 grand, you're going to plan a trip for him.
I like this question.
Yeah. Tell me what that trip entails and what you would do for that person. So John, you're planning a trip for CJ. You have no say what happens, but you, basically unlimited funds. You plan a trip for CJ.
How long is this trip?
We'll say 2 weeks. We'll just put a date on it. Say 2 weeks. Or we'll say a month. We'll say a month.
Yeah, we're not camping for 5 years. Put it
And
that
is
way.
it like, am I like, it's CJ and his family, or
No,
it's him?
just you and him.
Oh,
But
us
you're-
together.
Yeah, you're planning it for him, a trip for him. It's just the two of you going, unlimited funds, a month long. Go ahead.
So not 50 grand, unlimited funds?
Sure. Yeah, whatever.
All right.
We'll change the rules as we go.
Okay, so it's just to be clear, for some reason, he and I are going on a 2-week vacation together with unlimited funds.
Yeah, I mean, I can write a narrative story here if you want.
Okay. Well, I just want to be.
Can you?
Yeah, I can.
Would you?
Sure. Okay, I'll be John, you be CJ. Okay. Okay, so I just won like $50,000.
Okay.
Okay, and I know we talk a lot, but I really love you as my brother.
Okay.
Maybe as my more brother, but I think maybe we should spend some time together.
We should go on this trip.
Yeah, so I'm going to plan this trip for you.
Yeah, you should plan it because I don't want to do that.
No, I know, and I wouldn't want you to do it. 'Cause
I don't want
you're going to plan something stupid. So
Yeah,
I'm going to plan
plan
it.
something dumb.
Yeah, so I'll plan it, and then I'll take you on this trip.
Okay. Go.
Sorry, go ahead.
Okay.
You didn't go. Sorry, go ahead.
What are you laughing about?
I'm funny. That's what I'm laughing at.
Oh,
Go
you're
ahead.
laughing yourself.
Yeah.
Wow, this is hard. I think that I would take him down. We'd do a tour. We'd go down to the south, into the States,
Okay.
and we would do a tour of jiu-jitsu gyms, starting with guys like from what's the podcast? Cleared Hot.
Yeah.
Yeah, we start with like the guy, but then we go to Jocko's gym, and we'd go down to Texas and Tim Kennedy's gym, and we'd go to the Gracie Jiu-Jitsu gym, and just along the way we just
Tim
chill.
Kennedy, he was a former middleweight, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Okay.
And we would just take a trip down. I'd have to chart it out. I don't know the order it would go in because I don't know the order of where they are.
Yeah.
We'd go to the Endeavor podcast, the gym, the electric jiu-jitsu. We'd go on a tour of jiu-jitsu gyms. We'd collect some cool shirts along the way, maybe some rash guards and some gis, and maybe we'd end at the Jocko's week jiu-jitsu camp.
I am here for that.
Scale of 1 to 10. How excited would that trip be for you?
10.
Hey, good job.
Wow.
John. Good job.
Nice.
All right, CJ, you're doing the same thing for him. What do you want to do?
Okay, well, so when I conceived this idea, I was conceived with the idea of unlimited funds. Unlimited funds.
Yeah, for a month.
We're going to the space station.
Ooh.
Nice.
I don't know if I want to go to space. I have a problem with planes. I
Is
don't know
that,
if I
is
can
that
get
it? So the entire month you're in the ISS.
Yeah.
Okay. How do you
Yeah, I could do that.
scale of 1 to 10?
I'm scared, but yeah, I'll give that a 10.
I think you may have given yours more thought. The only thing that's missing is maybe some DMT.
Yeah, we can do that. It's some ayahuasca.
Yeah, if you don't mind.
I would let you do that in space.
You said unlimited money, and then I just got excited because I was like, I'm going to take my friend to space.
Yeah, it's totally fine. You can do it.
I don't know why you need to list
trip.
there, but
Unless I just got excited.
stop.
And really quickly before we get into our last question, another really intense one. Death row meal. So 3 courses and a drink.
Oh my god.
So like your appetizer, main course, dessert, and a drink. Go.
Steak,
Main course.
pierogies.
What kind of steak?
Yeah, like walk.
Like what cut?
You get an
go into
appetizer,
dinner?
you get an appetizer, you get a main, you get a dessert, and you get a drink.
Okay, my appetizer.
Yeah.
My appetizer is gonna be I don't know. I'm gonna go to the keg.
You're going to go to the keg? We just gave you a death row meal and you're going to the keg?
I don't think they let you go to the keg.
I'm gonna get the keg classic with a wedge salad, the baseball steak,
Yeah.
and what's my dessert? Chocolate cake.
Wedge salads are bullshit. Can I just say that?
They
Like,
kind
they're
of are.
such bullshit.
It's lazy.
It's the laziest
It's
salad.
lazy salad.
Yeah.
Here, we don't do no work. Here,
You're
have
gonna
this.
drizzle some
wedge
Charge you
salad.
$14
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
it.
Here's
For
some
half
lettuce.
a head of lettuce.
And what kind of drink?
What kind of drink, dude?
red wine.
So is red wine your drink of choice?
If I'm drinking alcohol, which I don't do it often, I drink red wine.
Okay.
CJ?
Well, I'm going to skip the appetizer. So I can add more onto my main course.
Okay.
All right.
I would like two things. I would like all you can eat salmon sashimi.
Okay.
And salmon nigiri.
Huh. It takes back to a time of watching you compete in an all-you-can-eat sushi.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
what was your number? It was high.
86.
Yeah, it was high.
86 pieces of sushi?
Yeah, I watched him do it.
It was
I watched him do it.
savage.
It was a lot. Yeah.
When was this?
2021?
No, this was like 2018, 2019, 2018. It would have been before the time.
Nick was there. So Nick was like 20. Nick was COVID era.
Yeah, 18,
2020.
Yeah.
What was it again?
86.
86 pieces of sushi.
So here's the best part of this. So Buddy and I from the nursing home, he talks a big game. He says, I can out eat you. He said, you have a bigger boy. And I was like, I don't think you can.
He's the bigger the boy. He's a
bit of a bigger boy. So we go to this, the all-you-can-eat place in town.
Yeah.
And I beat him by a couple, and then he goes and pukes in the bathroom, which is really funny while I eat dessert. He did. And then the best part of this is, so we're both feeling like mega shit after this. We go home, and without any cross-communicating or planning, both of our wives have ordered themselves sushi for dinner.
Yeah. That's true. Yeah.
It was disgusting.
Oh, that's were the owners like sweating when you guys were in there?
You know,
how many people were there? How many people were there? First off,
it was a big table. Like there was probably 9-10 people at the table.
There was like all the people from our nursing home station.
It was like all you can eat, like that. Pay your unlimited plates.
what was the price?
Well, it's $25 for all you can eat. So they definitely lost money.
They lost money. Yeah.
So if I'm on death row, I'd like those two forms of sushi.
Okay.
For dessert, probably like a creme brulee.
Oh.
Brulee.
Yeah.
And then for my drink, I would like a white wine, a Riesling from BC.
Rieslings.
You know what, Tanner? I'm going to toss this question at you because I want to know what a guy who can't eat anything
Yeah.
Good question.
Yeah.
would fucking eat before he. Would you eat? Would you cross the line? Like fuck it, I'm going anyway. I'm going to go.
See, that's the ticket, right? You're about to die, so fuck it.
Fuck it.
Give me all of the crabs and lobsters covered in celery.
Joke's on you, I'm going to die before I get there.
And I'll just.
Oh, I would totally do that. I'd be like,
I would. Take
I'm dying of anaphylactic
Yes,
shock.
I
before
would.
it
I would
kill
eat.
me.
I would eat everything I can't eat. Is probably what I would do.
Do you think dying of anaphylactic shock would be better than an injection?
Have you seen the videos of the guys dying from injection?
Yeah.
It's traumatic.
Yeah, they lose their
Okay,
shit.
first off, why are you guys watching videos of that? Jesus Christ. That's fucked up.
I've seen a couple. I don't know why.
Oh, my God. No, I haven't because I'm normal. I don't think either would be fun, but I think one is by my hand, and that's the way I would go.
Yeah, it'd be more stubborn. Fuck you! I'm gonna give me peanuts.
Yeah.
I just think I
Going
think
my way.
I think it'd be like drowning to death, so I think it would suck. Because like you basically you can't breathe. Your body just like
Yeah, your throat swells up, and
yeah. It's like drowning to
Can
death.
you eat peanut M&Ms?
Nope.
Can you be near them?
Yeah, I just can't kiss Corbyn if he eats them.
Oh, thank Christ. Peanut M&Ms are coming.
It's on the table all the time.
So, okay, yeah. Like, I've questioned you about your allergies multiple times. But
Yeah, we've done podcasts.
I'm still fascinated by it.
Yeah.
How can one man be allergic to all of it?
I don't get it.
All of
a
it.
lack of good?
So, what's your
genes.
favorite food then?
Craft dinner.
I would say a steak.
Okay.
But I'm having a harder and harder time eating red meat because I'm just getting old and I'm falling apart. So probably ribs, pork ribs.
What happens to you when you eat a steak?
Just my guts go sideways. Yeah, I'm just getting old.
I'm older than you,
Yeah, I know. It shows.
and I can still eat meat just fine.
Yeah, but I mean, we could take our shirts off and you could probably figure out why.
Because you're whiter,
Yeah. Hauntingly white.
pale.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you know what? That's an episode you can listen to on our podcast if you want to get into our problems with allergies.
Okay. Our back issues.
We see. I just fucking. I just
It's like a natural linking.
I know.
Noise.
I hate it, but
Like try that without. Just try starting without because it's weird.
okay. One of the questions we ask a lot on
I
this
like
podcast
it. Actually,
at the
it was
very
good.
end
It was good.
is we want to get into people's mental health journeys. Everyone has their own mental health journey, no matter what you do, where you go. And one of the things we want to sit on the show is find out where it brought you to here and the things that you focus on to kind of help get you through it. So whether it's little things you do or pick up throughout the day, things you like to do, just to let our listeners kind of have that idea. So
Can I be honest with you?
Yeah.
Completely forgot we were doing this part. It's half of our podcast.
The part we do
completely forgot.
The part we do every
I'm
single
glad
podcast.
you remember because I was out.
This is why.
Thank you for coming. See you later.
This is why I write things down.
Yeah.
So yeah, you can go together, take one another, however you guys want to do it. But yeah, just kind of walk us through share what you want or don't want. But
Go ahead.
Nobody's ever questioned me about my mental health.
yeah,
Pleases us to be the first.
I was about to say
it comes out, doesn't it?
It does, because it's like a natural linking noise. I would suggest that I think a lot more people than are willing to admit it are afflicted by anxiety, and I think it's a lot more normal. Like so I guess my thoughts around this is, I think sometimes people have said things like experiencing anxiety is a mental illness, or it is which yes, I'm sure it is. I also think it's just part of being a human being. There it is. And so I have found throughout my adult years, fitness has always been the thing that's really turned the dial down on that. So things like, and honestly, like I've experienced, I've done a lot of different fitness things, but I notice a very clear difference between when I am actively engaged in periods of fitness and when I'm not. And when I'm not, I tend to be a lot more anxious. That's probably the thing that I am like, I just get anxious, right? And again, I think people do. But on mornings when I go for a run, or I go train in the gym, or I lift weights, or whatever it is, the anxiety just kind of goes away, right? And you start your day or you end your day with some of that. I find it's not so much of an issue. So that would probably be my thing that is keeping me between the lines, is like some type of conceited exertion or fitness or struggle. And probably the other thing that's really good is what we're doing right now. I generally feel recharged after we podcast or after I get together with friends. I do find, as I'm probably the youngest person here, the amount of time I spend with friends has decreased markedly in the last 10 years. So when I do get to spend time with those friends, it is extremely valuable. And I often feel recharged every time I feel recharged after I do that. So that's probably the other thing that I'm like, yeah, this is a really good prop for my mental health. I am very fortunate in that I've had a good circle of friends. Where we work in the nursing home, they're pretty good about that kind of stuff. So there's been a few times where I've had to talk to people about some of the things that we've come across in the nursing home, and it's
shit in the bed.
Yeah.
Was it shit in the bed?
It's gross. It's so gross.
Lots of shit in the bed. Yeah.
Which I find is generally helpful for me, but it's also generally helpful. I've noticed a big change in the time that I've been there, where like it's a bit of that social proof where like, oh, well, if this person does it, well, then it's okay for me to do it. Or if this person talks about it, it's okay for me to talk about it. I've noticed a big change since we started in that. So while probably infrequent, I think that's the other thing, is the willingness to like talk about it with your friends. So
let me ask you this then, and this is a question for everybody. You mentioned friends. What do you think our wives, because they don't listen, what do you think our wives can do better to help? Not better, or what they do to help with mental health?
Is there something that sticks out to you about what they offer?
Well, that's a great question. I have noticed.
You're very well spoken, by the way.
Well, thank
I want
you.
to tell you that.
I appreciate that.
You, not so much.
Yep. Fred, if you could pick it up, it'd be
If you
great.
could just sharpen it up.
It's interesting you say that. So I have noticed that being somewhat of a new parent, my wife has probably traded some of her health for her parenting duties. And I think for her, the physical activity, the fitness thing probably has much of the same effect as it does on me in dampening a lot of those things. And that unfortunately has been traded right now for parenting duties. I think I am finding that my wife probably doesn't spend enough time looking after herself. So in what she can do, carve out some time in her day to try and do those things for her that tend to mitigate those things.
So her taking care of herself, but also that alleviates you knowing that your spouse is being healthy and being, taking care of their self. That kind of takes that stress away a bit from you, right?
Totally, 100%.
Yeah.
I completely agree with almost everything you said. I went through a bit of a phase, I don't know, a couple of years ago, where I was just having like chest pains, and I didn't know what it was. It became it was the point where I was checking my heart rate as I was having it, being like, okay, am I having a heart attack? And it's like, it's not changing. So I'm like, okay, well, it's not that. I'm like, oh, did I pull something in the gym? Like just weird things, like this like weight. And ended up talking to my doctor. He ends up being like, hey, I think it's stress, and I think you need to take some time. And the first time in my life, I went and talked to somebody about that, like a counselor or whatever. And it was interesting experience. And it really made me realize that I need to focus more on the hard parts of what we do, and not just discount them. Like, I'll be fine. Like, I think that bravado is very prevalent with just kind of like, oh, I'll be okay. I'll push through. It'll be okay. But just being willing to kind of have the conversation, and much like CJ, fitness is the thing that I think keeps me sane. And I have ups and downs with it, but I think the consistency just is, if you can keep the consistency somewhat, I find I'm just better off. And just find other things outside of work that you'd like to do. So this is obviously one, like you said. We have a super good friend group, people who are all on the wavelength of wanting to better themselves and not just like comfortable with being who they are. They want to be, better, whether that means physically, whether that means like better for their family, better dad, better whatever the thing is. It's just they're not just comfortable just being who they are. They want to strive to be better. I think it's good. What's the saying? You're like an amalgamation of your best 5 friends or something. So who you surround yourself with is super important. And so that I love reading. I love like spending time with the kids, the family. So I think it's just trying to be present, because I think that's the other thing we struggle with, especially with these stupid phones and the other things that we're doing in our lives, is we and the whole die with zero idea we talked a bit about in our last podcast. Like experiences, like being in the experience with your family when you're with them, and not being somewhere else in your head or frustrated that you're there or whatever the thing is. So it's just it's a whole bunch of things, but the fitness is honestly, it's the number one thing that I think keeps me.
What would you guys say to somebody who doesn't like to work out?
I happen to recall listening to a podcast where you talked about just how much you hate working out.
I fucking hate working out.
Why? What is it about it?
Everything?
Like, do you feel like it's a waste of time, or like what is it?
I don't like doing it because I don't like exerting myself and being tired. I hate being sore.
Yeah.
I don't I don't understand like sports athletes who have to work out in between. Like, I'm like, how do they do that when they're sore all the time?
Yeah.
I don't get it. So no, there's that. I don't like being sore. I don't like the exertion. I don't like being tired. I don't like I couldn't even do 27 minutes, guys. Like, you heard the podcast. I don't like doing that. Like, I hate it. So what else is there?
If there was like if you knew at the end of the journey, because you do this thing, and there was a you at the end of the journey, that could be where it was. Sorry, what I'm trying to say is, if you could see yourself at the end of this, and is there something that you could see that make it worth it? I guess is what I'm trying to say. Like, you could push through the stuff that sucks, like the struggle, the stuff that you don't like to do, but you know over here, if you keep doing this, I'm going to get there.
So I don't know if you guys know this, but my big crutch is, instead of fitness, I've gone with apathy. And so far it's doing pretty good.
Yeah.
I think
it's always easy to say.
It's always.
So I invented a time machine.
And I'm not mocking you guys or anything. I think what you guys do is great. I can't do it.
I invented a time machine, and you can only give a quick couple paragraphs to your younger self before you started working in the nursing homes, to give them the quick mental acuity advice that you would want when you were back there. What would you say?
Can I? Is this so? Just to clarify, am I changing my course of my life, or am I just giving myself advice taking the same course?
Just if you could throw back to the advice to your everything's going to happen. Okay. It's all prefixed, but just giving them that mental wherewithal or bulwark that you wish you would have gotten 10, 15 years ago, starting down this path. What would you wish you would have known or been told to do or be aware of?
I think I would tell myself to enjoy. Like, again, I think it'd be about being in the moment, because I don't think especially as a younger guy, the context of that doesn't really make sense. It's just like time is, oh, I'm young, we're good. Like, I'm turning 42 this year. I feel the same as I did when I was 20. Physically, I don't feel different. I feel like it was weird to me that I'm old, like to some people, right? Because I don't feel that way. But you don't have that perception when you're that age. So I think I would really tell myself to enjoy the moments as they're happening, and then specifically for what we do for the nursing home, I think I would tell myself from the beginning. I would say start talking to people, be open about your experiences, things that are tough, things that you're dealing with. Have those conversations candidly with people and with potentially professionals from the beginning. And just there's nothing ashamed of, just have those conversations from the beginning. I just think if that was open from then, I think it would just potentially mitigate some of the long-term effects, maybe down the road.
Yeah. CJ?
This is a tough question.
Yeah.
How deep are you right now?
Pretty deep.
No, so how many years do you think?
How many years deep?
Deep into your career are you?
12.
12? How deep are you?
14.
14? Okay, go ahead.
He's 13.
I am in my 14th. 13th
Well, then I'm in my 13th.
Exactly. You're 1 year behind me.
So I think good advice is probably advice that is as applicable today as it was back then. I am constantly conflicted by the fact that we rush through life so much and we fail to enjoy the things as they happen, enjoy the moments as they are, because they will pass, which is very applicable to life right now. I think that would be the advice, much like you said, JB, would be to tell myself is that you need to slow down and just enjoy the moment, live in the moment, and stop rushing through everything, because we just rush to the next thing, to the next benchmark, to the next goal, to the next financial goal, whatever that is. And we miss all the important stuff, and people get older, family gets older, people die. And then before you know it, we're going to be next. So that would probably be the advice I would give myself and advice for today too, is to do everything you can to live in the moment and enjoy life, because it's going to be over very quickly.
I think what we do is, I don't know about you, but for me, is I'm so dead inside that you say you're rushed to the next thing. I need that high, and then I got to rush to get that next high before. Like, does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like,
sure.
I feel in extremes. I feel super high or super low, and so I'm rushing to get to that next high because the dead spot.
Yeah, the darkness takes over.
The darkness takes over.
So this is like literally with the idea of like so this is the idea with like working out, like the growth, the mindset. It isn't about the end goal, because when you're with that up and down thing happens because you're trying to attain something, you maybe get it, and then it's like, okay, now what? Oh, I need to attain something. I get it, and down, right? Versus like if you can find out a way to enjoy the journey, or at least be present in the journey and actually find pleasure in that process, then it's like that up and down isn't so steep, because you've been enjoying the process throughout the whole thing. It's not just about getting to here. It's like, oh, I'm learning stuff, I'm doing stuff, I'm enjoying this struggle to actually get to the thing. And then the drop isn't very hard, because it's like that process. You've learned to enjoy that process, so it doesn't matter what the next thing is, because you can redo that again. And so with fitness, I know you don't like it, and then so it's like, but if you can find a way to, like, it's not about the end goal of it. It's like, I'm doing this. It's hard. I don't know. If maybe you do it enough, you end up liking it. But to start enjoying the process of it is, like, I think the key to it. I don't know. The
only way I've been able to do it, because I'm kind of with Corbyn. I've always hated the gym. The only way that I can do it now is I just have to piecemeal it out. So it's never, I have to go to the gym. It's, okay, I got to go put my workout clothes on. And it's, okay, I got to grab my backpack and my headset.
Baby steps to the clothes.
And then it's
baby steps to the...
Okay, I go jump in the car. Like, I literally have to piecemeal it out of my mind to make myself do it.
Which I think
that's the only way I get it done.
No, that's such a powerful way to do it. I mean, I don't want to compare you to David Goggins, but like basically David Goggins. Yeah, basically. I think everybody's that way. I'm that way a lot of days. Is like, okay, I gotta go get my fucking shoes on. Okay, I got my shoes on. Like, well, I just gotta go to the car. I found it really interesting. I was listening to somebody talk not too long ago about this issue, right? Whereas it's like it's specifically to fitness, and I also hate. Were you at? Was it Orange Theory? No,
9 round.
9 round. I fucking hate being told what to do when I work out. I couldn't do it. I would lose my mind.
But at the same time, I also don't know what to do, so I'm in a weird spot.
Yeah.
So I'm not doing this because you told me.
Yeah, and this, I mean, this applies more so maybe to the sport that I'm engaged in at the moment. Is like they were talking about how your identity relates to how you end up training or performing when you train. And like one of the things is they say you can either say like, I am somebody, or I'm going to get up today and I'm going to go to the gym. I'm going to go do jiu-jitsu. Or you can say, I'm a grappler. And that's what grapplers do is they get up and they train every day, right? And that's part of my identity is this thing that forces me to do this. And then if I don't do this, it's kind of incongruent with what my identity is. I found that to be really effective is like I look at myself in the ear and I'm like, in the mirror. I say in the ear.
You said the ear?
Say the ears. Okay.
I was with you though. Like I thought you were taking me on like a weird grappler thing I didn't know about.
Well, no, it's funny because
the ears.
I looked at myself in the mirror and I was like, oh, my ear's a little bit fucked up. Just a little bit, right? And I'm like, okay, I got that because I spent some time on the mats getting my ear squished. Well, but now I kind of have this thing. Okay, I guess I just need to go because that's kind of who I am, right? And it's like the identity part of it has kind of forced me to go where it's like, that's what I do. That's who I am, right? And I don't want to go today, but but that's what I am. That's who I do. That's what I do. So I found that to be like a really good thing to draw me in. And in your case, right? Like, yeah, like I'm a kickboxer. That's what I do. Or I can go like whatever the identity part of it is that you can be like, it's going to force me to go because if I don't go, then I'm going, I'm taking action that's against what my perceived identity of myself is.
So far, my fitness identity is moderately aggressive walker.
I'm a walker. I'm a
Jazzerciser.
Ball walker.
I was gonna say. What was I gonna say? Shit. Go ahead.
Undiscovered country. Let's get back to it.
You know what? Fitness feels like a video game that doesn't have an ending. You know what I mean? There's no I want to finish the game. Does that make sense? And in fitness, there's just no end for me.
It's like one of those
I need to complete something.
MMORPG.
Yes.
Yeah.
MMORPGs.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? Like I'm a guy who needs endings, and I don't. Fitness seems like there's no end. Like I'm just got to keep doing it.
Yeah, there really isn't.
And for me, that drives me insane.
Yeah. I completely understand that. There's no ending, and I guess that's you have to trying to wrap your head around. Like I saw a good meme the other day. It's like some guy sitting like on the bench, kind of like looking at his feet, thinking, I'm 40 years old. I've worked hard to get to this, and now I just have to keep working this hard to maintain this the rest of my life. It's like, okay, well, like the struggle. It's just it's a slog, right? But back just to quickly with what you said about that identity thing. There's a really good book called How to Talk to Yourself, and it's all about like self-talk. And I think it's a bit like woohoo to some degree, but it's very much about like the internal dialogue we have with ourselves is such a driving force that we like don't even understand. Like I hated running, and that internal dialogue for me when I was running was very much like, why am I doing this? This is stupid. I should just fall and pretend I hurt myself and then I'll do this. I should like the whole time, every step. I was like, well, this is dumb. I hate this. And it took a long time for me to like that internal dialogue to go away. Where it's like, I like this. This is there's value in this. I like running. I'm a runner, right? And when that changed, it was very weird because it was a very big switch as to like, oh, I can do this. This is okay. And that might be the same thing with that. And maybe it's just a pushing through point. I don't know. But
what does your internal dialogue look like?
Look like?
Yeah, like when you're doing it, what does it look like in your head?
When I'm running?
No, like when you're having that internal, when you're talking, whatever it is, like what does that look like?
So for those specific where I was yelling, it basically it literally is like, I don't know. It's almost like the angel demon idea where it's like I would be running. Part of me is like, I hate this. Why am I doing this? The other part's like, suck it up. You're stop being such a baby. Like, just it's fine. And then it's like, no, this is stupid. My feet hurt. No, look, your calves are hurting. No, you're fine. And it's just like it's this back and forth thing the whole time.
What does yours look like?
It depends what I'm doing.
Yeah.
When I'm running, so I also have gone through like periods of like really hating and really enjoying running. When I really hate running, it's much the same. When I've really enjoyed running, sometimes it's been like really silly things like, okay, it's going to sound really dumb, but whatever. I listened to a podcast where Navy SEAL named Mike Sorelli was talking about carrying one of his basically dead coworkers on the battlefield on his like his back to get him out of there. And he was like, this is the hardest thing I've ever done. Like my legs were on fire. I wanted to give up, but I just had to keep going. Right. And I was like, so then like there was a period in time for like months on end where when I was running and I'd be like running uphill and I was like, fuck, if he can do it, like I can do it, like suck it the fuck up. Right. That was kind of like what my internal dialogue, and it was super effective for a while. I don't pay attention to that a lot now when I'm doing things that I hate doing, but
yeah, I've asked a few people and I get surprisingly different answers. One person said they do it like they're on a talk show.
Oh, weird.
Yeah, like just how
themselves.
Yeah, like they'll ask a question and then they answer it, but it's like on a talk show, kind of how they do it internally.
I've never thought about it, like how it happens.
Yeah, that's the thing. You don't, right? Because your brain has always done it, but no one's ever really the same.
What's your internal dialogue sound like when you're at
beep 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 1-0-0-1-0-0-1-0-0-1-0-0-1-0-0?
You heard the 9-round story. That's my internal dialogue. Yeah. See, here's the thing with me. I was an athlete when I was younger, and I played basketball. And this is the old school mentality. I think I'm older than all of you guys. The old school mentality. So you're in practice, and you fuck up in practice. The punishment was running.
Yeah.
And that's like, and you're sitting there, fuck this shit. Like, and you're running lines. It's the worst part of your day. It's the worst part of practice. You just hate it from the get go. So I'll never enjoy running ever. I know this for a fact, just because I was conditioned like that back in the day.
Yeah.
My internal
that makes sense.
is me just swearing at shit.
Yeah,
that makes a lot of sense though.
I'd be so curious for an attempt with you, like say you picked like a specific sport like basketball, swim, or say like swimming, right? Like have you ever swam before?
I have swam before.
Like I'd love to know, like Kate, like so if that's part of your identity, like I'm a swimmer, like I don't want to get up today and swim, but that's what swimmers do. Is swimmers go swimming is like that change from like a negative internal dialogue to like something. I'd be curious to see if that would be effective.
I would need. So as much as I don't want to be told what to do, I would need someone to tell me what to enforce me to do it.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Would it have to be the right person? So like be somebody that you somehow respect for that specific thing, and
they'd have to be a complete cunt to me.
Yeah.
I'll do it. I'll do it. I'll come tell you.
Like I would need someone who has I feel they have authority over me.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I'd be like, fuck you. I wouldn't care.
Right.
You'd be apathetic.
Yeah.
Radically apathetic.
Right.
And that takes us back. Guys, we really appreciate it. Fucking did it again. We really appreciate you being here and answering our questions. And you're both lovely people.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Are you waiting for the
I was
thank
waiting for Corbyn to say something there, but
I was just going to say that.
Yeah, that's okay. Thank you for having us on your podcast.
Yeah, that was fun.
And thanks for coming on ours. And like I said, it's the first multiverse. Is that what I called it?
The multiverse.
You coined a new phrase.
Yeah, that's the new phrase. We're going to call it multiverse. Yeah, no, it's all brand new. And it was really, really nice to talk to you. And you guys are great. And please, those of you who are listening to hear, all 12 of you, go over to listen to Average Superior podcast. They are great. They are hilarious. You will have a good time. You may learn something, maybe not.
You may not.
If you like Atlantis, you're really going to like their podcast as well.
If you like aliens and overthrowing the government,
really get into it.
We didn't talk about that. Were you overthrowing the government, fellas?
We would like
is that
to.
what we're doing?
Is that what we're going to do?
if the mood hits us.
Which government? We got like 4 of them now.
I mean, honestly, all of them at this point.
All
None of them
3
work.
levels of government. All right.
Now that the government's listening, where can our
the
listeners
government
find you?
The government can find us on Instagram at Average Superior.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. And I think we have a Twitter account. I couldn't tell you what it says right now because I forgot the password.
And I don't touch it. So
And you have, is it a Patreon or is it?
No. So if you go to our Instagram, in the links in the bio, is that what they say? Links in the bio.
Sure.
There's a link and it takes us to. We use this feed called Buzzsprout, is where we host everything, and it'll take you to a link to that where you could help us out if you want and subscribe.
Yeah, no, it's a great podcast. Please do. They just finished episode 41 with 2 very handsome people
Which
on
is
there.
going to be titled Radically Average.
I like it.
I like
it.
that's
What podcast number are we on? Like 8? 9?
This will be
9.
Technically 10.
10?
You had 2
Really?
parts.
Yeah.
2 parts to 9.
Yeah, 9 had 2 parts. This will be episode 10.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you're our first double digits.
Hey, there you go.
Yeah.
Hey.
Yeah.
Do we have any homework tonight, Tanner?
We do, but where can they find us, Corbin?
I don't know.
No.
I don't care. You're listening. You know where to find us.
Yeah, the things that it'll be on the.
If you're already here, you know where to find us.
Go down to the description and you can
That's a
see
very
what it
good point.
says. Yeah,
You're listening
If you
already.
found me already, you'll find me again.
Before we go, homework for Corbin.
All right, what is it?
One of our-
Listen, just before you go.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
Can you just take it easy on me this time? Last time you gave me homework was a production.
This one's easy.
All right.
Okay. One of our upcoming guests is a professor at the university,
Oh yes.
and he is a long time dungeon master.
Jesus Christ. Okay, what?
So that's going to be a heavy Dungeons and Dragons episode.
Yeah.
You just need to get yourself wrapped around it.
Yeah,
So
I'm gonna be just surfing with the tide on that one.
to try and keep you engaged, what we're going to do is we are going to build you a character
Okay.
on the show.
Can I be human male, please?
While you're halfway there.
Okay.
So your homework for the next show is you need to decide the name, the race,
Gus.
and the class, which is the job
White
that your
guy.
character does.
White human male.
Yeah. So
Gus.
you decide that, and you come to the next one, and we will get into that with our professor.
All right, I'll think on it.
Yeah. That's Radical Apathy every fortnight.
I'm excited actually to talk about this because I want to hear 2 intellectuals on the subject kind of bounce off each other, and then I will just be the comic relief in between.
Yeah. I think it's the first time for everything.
Tanner.
Yeah.
So when I listened to one of your podcasts, I actually made notes about things I
wow.
wanted you to talk to you about.
Okay.
One of the things that stood out to me was some homework that Corbin assigned to you.
Okay.
Corbin assigned you the homework. It had to do with chicken
McNuggets.
Oh, yeah, the chicken
How
nuggets,
he
yeah.
completely kiboshed that one.
Okay.
And I'm good with the boot and the not boot. I'm good with that. But this one just torqued me for some reason. First, you understand that honey mustard is a flavor, right? And that it's not like somebody didn't just like you can get honey and mustard together.
Okay.
And it's okay.
Okay.
You understand that, right?
Yeah.
Was it you or was it you that didn't like honey mustard?
I don't like. It's fine.
He told me to get honey
And
mustard. He told me to
eat
get
them
the
separately.
and
I never said honey mustard.
He didn't say honey mustard.
Oh,
He
really?
did not
Okay.
say the honey mustard.
Okay.
He said to get honey and to get mustard.
Separately?
He said to get 2. Yeah.
Yeah, try them. I wanted him to try 2 different experiences.
Hence my confusion, CJ. And I tried to dip them, and the fucking honey would never stand the
And
goddamn
I'm
mustard.
glad they were looking at you like an idiot because you should have.
No one liked them.
Everyone, you should try them separately. Try some. Although right now, for a limited time only, is the new savory chili sauce.
Yeah.
And I can say this because I don't work out and I eat these a lot.
Yeah.
Is try the savory chili sauce.
No, I can't.
It's
No.
fantastic.
I'm going to get kicked out of every McDonald's if we keep trying this
It's
shit.
so good. And you don't have to mix it with anything. Just the.
See what you did, CJ? Yeah, I just saw you. Thank you all for listening to Radical Apathy. Please come back in fortnight. Listen again. We love you all. And thank you to Average Superior.
Remember,
our handsome
thank you.
boys.
Thanks for having
At
us.
the end of the day, it doesn't fucking matter.